Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math. And we want to calculate the length and width of rectangle A, B, C, and D. Now, our rectangle here has some information. Let's talk about it before we solve it. We have our points A, B, C, and D, and we have some areas given to us. We have 5 rectangles, and one of those rectangles is actually a square in the middle. Rectangle first one here has an area of 14, area of 15, area of 17, an area of 12, and an area of 1 here, and that one is a square. So I want you to see if you can pause this video, see if you can find the dimensions of this rectangle. But if you just want to keep on watching and figure this out, or watch us do it here, by all means, do what works for you. All right, my first step here is, I noticed that this, again, square of area of 1 in the middle. That means all sides are congruent, aka all sides will be a length of 1 here, okay? 1 by 1 is 1 square, right? Area of 1, got it. Now, I'm gonna start here with DC. We got a breaking point right here. All right, let's call that E. Got E right there. And now we have length DE. No idea what that is, so let's go call that X. So length DE is X. Well, what about this one up here? I have no idea what this length is here from A to, well, let's call this spot F. No idea what that is, but if DE, that length is a, well, X, A to F would be an X minus a 1. So let's go write down what we have. We have DE, that length. Let's call X, and we said AF has a length of X minus 1. So if our rectangle here, AF to this point here, has a length of X minus 1, what's this length? Well, EFG, let's call this G here, and we want to find the length of AG. Well, rectangles have a, well, area is equal to length times width. And so I'm gonna kind of show the basics here, and we're gonna use this multiple times to get certain values here in terms of X. Length times width, we don't know what AG is. But we know that AG times that length of AG times an X minus 1 is equal to a 14. So AG, that length, is equal to 14 over an X minus a 1. So we can say, okay, AG is 14 over X minus 1, and we can write this length here as a 14 over an X minus 1. Now, let me erase this here to give us some more space, and let's go find the length of DG. DG is in the same boat. If one side length is X times DG gives me an area of 12, DG has a length of 12 over an X. So we can write that here, DG as a 12 over an X right there, and we can label our rectangle. All right, we have EFG, these points labeled. Let's go this one, EFG, let's call that H. We want to find the length of CH. What's the length of CH? Well, CH is the length of DG, right, plus 1. So DG plus 1, we have 12 over X plus 1, or we can really rewrite that to make it one big fraction. That's going to be a, make it X over X here to a common denominator. We have 12 plus X over X. So we can label that here. CH is that 12 plus X over an X. What about EC? Let's go find that next. EC. Well, same as before, length times width equals their area. So 17 divided by 12 plus X over X gives me my EC. To do that, we have, well, 17 times the reciprocal, X over 12 plus X, which is equal to a 17X over a 12 plus an X. And we can put that down here. Let's go 17X over a 12 plus an X. All right, we want to keep finding each one of these little extra spaces here. What about FB? So FB is a little more difficult, and FB is the length of EC plus this length of 1. We can see that here. So we have 17X over a 12 plus X plus 1, that's side length, or that simplifies out, all right, make it a fraction, 12 plus X over 12 plus X is equal to a 1. and that gives us an 18x plus 12 over a 12 plus an x. So let's go label that down here. We can have some room here. We got an 18x plus 12 as the length here over a 12 plus x. And we have one last thing to go through. We got BH, this last part right here. So BH is equal to an AG, that 14, over x minus 1, minus this length of 1 right here. So 14 over x minus 1 we have, subtract 1. And so we want to find a common denominator, so 1 is x minus 1 over x minus 1, and that actually comes out to be a 15 minus an x over an x minus 1. Make sure you keep your minus signs intact. So BH here is a 15 minus x over an x minus a 1. Now we have a whole bunch of variables here kind of given. Let's go make a little equation, see if we can solve for an x value here. I'm gonna look at this one right here. This area equals 15. Length times width equals, well, the area of 15. So let's just multiply our 15 minus an x over an x minus 1 times 18x plus 12 over a 12 plus an x is equal to 15. From there, what I'm going to do is kind of bring this denominator, multiply it over here to the right hand side, and we have 15 minus an x times an 18x plus 12 equals a 15 times an x minus 1 and a 12 plus an x. All right, now I'm gonna go do some of this work here to solve for x, break it down some points here, but I'm gonna kind of fast forward so I'm not just boring you by solving for x. All right, so you can follow along into this little speed up montage. So we have 11x squared minus 31x minus 20 is equal to 0 when we simplify all of that. That factors out. I'm gonna put that up here. Hopefully we have enough room. I might have to erase soon. But that factors out to be an x minus 5 times 11x plus a 20 is equal to 0. Solve for that, we have x equals a positive 5 and x equals a negative 20 over 11. Now we know x can't really be a negative number, right? Negative side length right here wouldn't really work out. Cross that out, and so let's go with our x value being 5. Well, right off the bat, we have our length here of DE. That's going to be a 5. That's good to know. Okay. What about the length now of DC? Well, that's going to be DE plus EC, and we already said DE is equal to 5. You know what? We got a lot of space here I needed to write. I'm going to erase this now. So bear with me. All right, more space to work. DC. That is the length of DE, which is 5, which we have, plus EC, which is 17x plus 12 plus x, and x is equal to 5. So we have 17 times 5 over a 12 plus a 5 here. Simplify that out, keep it separate for a second. 12 plus 5 is a 17. We have 17 times 5 over a 17. Don't just multiply things out. Things are going to cancel. It's beautiful. We have 5 plus 5 here, which is 10. So DC, that length overall is equal to 10. That's lovely. We got one of them. We just need the width now. So DC is equal to 10. The width, let's go find AD. That looks like the easiest one for me. AD, that length here, is equal to a good old 14 over x minus 1 plus a 12 over x. Let's go plug 5 in for each x value. AD here, 14 over a 5 minus 1 plus a 12 over 5. Keep on simplifying that. 4 here, so we have 14 over 4 plus a 12 over a 5. I want to find a common denominator here. Let's go 20, so multiply 5 over 5 to this number here. 14 times 5 over 5, is that what, 70? 70 over 20, 4 times 5. Plus here, we then have 4 times 12 is 48 over a 20. We can combine these. 70 plus 48 is a 118 over a 20. And 118 over 20 is a 5.9 as a decimal. So AD has a length of 5.9. So the area, or the length and width of our rectangle here, it's a 10 by 5.9 units. And there we have it. We found the length and width of our overall rectangle was 10 by 5.9 units. If you solve this a different way, different path, let me know down in the comment section below. So I hope you liked this video and you can spread the joy of learning by liking it and subscribing to our YouTube channel. This really helps us make more of these fun math lessons for you and for everyone else. So as always, thanks for watching.